All right, so if you're watching this right now on IG, I am currently doing the Scrub Lounge podcast on Twitch. So go there right now because you're going to want to hear what I have to say. Okay? Because what I'm about to talk about, I'm about to go in right now. So if you're watching this on Instagram right now, I'm on Instagram live right now. Here we freaking go. Okay. So today I got home. I was having a good day, and stuff like that. I won't go into deep. Hold up. Dang it, hold up. There we go. Anyways, so got home today. Cause I didn't go to work. I had to go do something else. And today I decided that I was gonna watch a freaking movie, Kabuto. I was gonna watch a movie. Okay. What movie you're probably asking? And Kabuto, if you want, you can join me on IG as well. What movie you're probably asking? So, a movie has been in the media, in our cultural zeitgeist for the past couple of weeks that have pissed off the likes of SJ Dubs and SJ Dub Conserves, the alt-left and the alt-right. I'm talking about a movie that won the Sundance Film Award earlier this year called Cuties. We talked about Cuties a couple of weeks ago on the last episode of the Scrub Lounge with myself, Broken Kabuto, and Jen. Okay, we talked about it. I even verbally apologized. I'm gonna turn you down. Hold up.
Yeah.
I even verbally apologized about because I kind of I thought I had a misconception of the freaking movie because of the trailer. I was acting out of anger and I realized that. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to watch this movie. I'm not going to review it, but I'm going to give my honest to God reaction of what I saw. And let me tell you, I don't even know where to begin. I really don't. Like, here. We're gonna just there you go. People, I don't know where to begin when it comes to talking about this movie. Okay? I really don't. I don't get it. Listen, I understand. Let it be known, I completely understand that this was based off a story about the director, the woman who directed this movie. Okay? I understand that completely. I want to say that right now. Because in case there are people who are going to try to defend this movie, I just want to say this right now. I don't get it. Why was this movie made? It does not work as a movie. Now, and I understand that people are gonna be like, well, it's talking about, how little girls are over-sexualized. Okay, that's fine. But
And you're gonna do it by over sexualizing girls?
Exactly! Like, it's one thing to bring a message out saying, yo, this is what's going on in Europe. Because I don't know what's going on, because it's bad enough that we're already having everything that's going on with niggas, freaking, like, watching drag, kids in drag and stuff like that, which, I want to say this right now. If your kid wants to do drag, that is fine. But he gotta do it when he's 18. Because you don't realize that there are pedos out there who are preying on little girls and little boys. And I understand that in Europe has right now, Europe has a horrible epidemic when it comes to over-sexualizing young girls and young boys. I sat through this movie, and for the most part, whenever they were not doing the dancing, I understood. It was about a girl who was trying to break out of her conservative family's thing. And I'm spoiling it. Her mother freaking is pissed because her husband is taking on a second wife, because in the Muslim religion that can happen.
Up to 4, depending on how wealthy you are.
Exactly. Outside of that, when it goes through all the stuff, like, if you were trying to be part of a dance crew, that is fine. But then this freaking girl decides, let's do something bigger. We're going to freaking dance like we're in a strip club or whatever, okay? Like it's like we're gonna dance the same way we see these girls be dancing in music videos. Pretty much this entire freaking movie is about what happens when little girls think that they grown as hell. Like in Kabuto, I know for a fact that you and I, we grew up in the same hood. We've been when we was younger, we've been around girls who
Hmm.
little fast ass girls who thought that they was grown, and then reality hit them with a ton of bricks.
You know what's the social consensus about girls like this?
What?
11 to 14-year-old girls that would put on all that makeup. You don't look like women. You look like clowns. Like this was what our opinion was of these types of girls back when we were in middle and high school. You look like clowns.
The last shot of the movie where they're dancing and stuff like that, I know everyone has seen it. That's the last part of the movie. This does not happen early in the movie. There's another scene that happens 20 minutes before that scene. I don't know how to explain this without either the Twitch police coming after me or YouTube coming after me. There's a scene.
Let me. I'm guessing. I'm guessing they need three things. One, an ass whooping. Two, Jesus and his one-shot holy hand, and Siddhartha with his 108 hand strike.
I'm trying not to laugh. I'm trying to be very serious right now. Kinda. I'm just gonna say it.
Point is, some filmmakers need an ass whooping.
Pretty much. I was honestly disturbed by what I saw before the dance. Like people want to say the dance is the most disgusting thing. No, it's not. No, it's not. The most disgusting thing of the whole movie happens before the final dance scene. Okay? Okay, you know what? I'm gonna say it. I'm just gonna say it right now. We're all adults here. The little black girl. So at one point in the movie, she takes some dude's phone, right? The guy's trying to get it back. She locks herself in the bathroom, and in order to try to get him in trouble or something like that, she takes a picture of her downtown to Chinatown area.
Oh God. No.
I swear to God, I almost cut the movie off.
Oh my God.
And you want to know what I did
I
next?
feel like I need to put sulfuric acid on my eyes now.
Do you want to know what I did next after I watched that movie? I watched Kids. I don't know, Kamado, I know. Do you remember that movie Kids in 1995?
Yeah.
So I watched Kids because there was only one other movie that I can compare this to that made me visibly sick and disturbed. Like, I've never been shocked and appalled about a movie since Serbia film. And Serbia film was on a whole nother level of what the hell. Kids is a movie that came out in 1995, which it was an independent film. And it was actually Rosario Dawson's first movie she was ever in. And pretty much the plot is this dude wants to take every girl's virginity. The first opening of the movie is this kid talking about he was talking this girl into having sex with him. Unprotected sex. And the girl is 12 years old. This dude is 16, 17 years old.
Yeah, no Romeo and Juliet clause will save you from that.
And throughout this whole movie, because the movie pretty much talks about what was going on in the 90s. Unprotected sex, everything that was going on with HIV and AIDS, drugs like weed and ecstasy and everything like that. Everything that happened, everything that was going on in the 90s that the 90s like to talk about, like ecstasy, LSD, marijuana, angel dust, PCP, unprotected sex, was all wrapped up in this movie. And I don't even think that movie handled the situation properly either, because throughout the whole movie, we are in the point of view of these teenagers who are not even 16 yet. And one of them gets HIV from the guy who had sex with a 12-year-old unprotected. These kids on both sexes boys and girls are talking about like, oh yeah, man, sex is like, oh yeah, like this guy, like, I like rough sex, or I like foreplay. Have you ever, given head? Oh, blah 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 blah. And Rosario Dawson and the white girl who had got HIV, they went to go get tested. Rosario Dawson was fine. The white girl wasn't. And she knows who had sex. She was the one person she had sex with was the same dude who had sex with a 12-year-old. And she's throughout the whole movie, she's trying to figure out where he is so she can tell him, you need to get checked because I just came. I got diagnosed. I tested positive for HIV. And throughout the movie, we see all these kids doing drugs, making out, and we do see not one, but two scenes of unprotected teenage sex. One of them being the main character having sex with a 13-year-old girl. Unprotected. And in the movie, his homie has sex with a chick who has HIV unprotected after everyone is knocked out. The way I see this, there is no other movie that I can compare Cuties to when it comes to being a very disturbing movie in which it talks about sexualizing kids. Other than Kids, the movie from 1995. I never want to watch this movie again. I never want to watch the movie Kids again. Because both movies, in my honest opinion, should have been books. Because people don't read anyway.
At best.
People don't read anyway. So why not? And for people who are going to be like, well, it might not work because, it might cause controversy. So did Lolita, and people still read Lolita. So did Catcher in the Rye. So did Fahrenheit 451.
Even Stanley Kubrick made a movie version of Lolita. He just changed the age of the characters. Heck, in the actual Salem witch trials, the ages of John Proctor and what's her name, Abigail Williams, were actually, you know what? I'm going to start with the movie. In the movie version with Winona Ryder, the one Winona Ryder character I absolutely despise the most, she's 18 in the movie, and John Proctor's 33. In the book, she's 11 and he's 66.
Exactly.
And by in the book, I mean in real life.
I know, because that was an actual trial. I have seen the movie. I'm not the type of person who's gonna say, oh, I'm not gonna watch this movie, blah blah blah, because then people are gonna be like, well, how can you judge a movie you haven't seen it? I've seen the movie and I'm judging it now. In my humble opinion, listen, I get that the director of Cuties was trying to talk about her life and talking about the things that may have happened to her. I completely understand that she wants to discuss the over-sexualization of children in Europe because that is a growing problem, especially in France, where France has a horrible high count of human sex trafficking. It's bad. But how can you talk about something that's going on? Why would you parade it?
Like, you want to talk about the topic, here's some ways you could do that without being so visually graphic about it, without doing it yourself. One, don't show so much revealing footage of the characters, because I saw the IMDb like parental notes thing. Because like I did not watch the movie, and frankly, from the trailer, I did not want to watch the movie. But I cannot, say anything good or bad about it unless I actually watch it. But using the notes I saw from my IMDb, I'm like, now I really don't want to watch this movie. So don't use those explicit, like, video, like shots of the characters. And also, if nothing else, can't you just hire like 18-year-old actresses that look like 11-year-olds instead of actual 11-year-olds playing 11-year-olds?
No,
I mean, if you could get 30-year-old Danielle Harris to play a 17-year-old character, like I'm pretty sure you could find an 18-year-old actress to play an 11-year-old character. And even then, don't be so visually about it, like the stuff I've seen on the IMDb page.
Again, I understand completely that you're trying to talk about your life through the art of visual aid, cinema. Okay,
but it's not what you do; it's how you do it.
I understand that conservatism is a big thing, especially in the Muslim faith. I can say the exact same thing about the Catholic faith. If your parents are hardcore Catholic, I can see that. If your parents are hardcore Christians, I can see that. If your parents are hardcore Jews, I can see that. No, or hardcore Muslim, I can see that. However, there are certain things that honestly shouldn't be put on film. In fact, once again, I think this movie would have had a better impact as a book first. And if you want to talk about movie rights, fine. I honestly think the director who did this movie, because this is about her,
Mm-hmm.
she should have made this a book, a novella, or something. I don't think cinema was the right choice. Same with Kids, because apparently Kids is loosely based off the director's life, and him and this other person knew people like this. Anyway,
And to people involved, or more importantly, the people defending this movie, stop it. Get some help.
because again, and you're like, well, why'd you watch it to begin with? Because people, if I'm gonna talk about this movie, I have to at least watched it, and I watched it, and I never want to watch this movie ever again. Just like I never want to watch Kids again. Like if your whole thing is to teach people about how media over sexualizes children, you could have went in a different way instead of and apparently, and if I'm reading this post right, listen, as a film critic, is the movie okay? I'm gonna say this right now. If you want, it's meh at best. All I see was the fact that if you want to talk about, listen, I can. If this movie want to talk about what happens when fast ass little girls with no parental supervision get in trouble, fine. But no, this is not the way you should have done it.
Yeah, if you just wanted a movie about kids rebelling against their parents by doing some kind of dance competition, just watch Jump In.
Dude, I don't know how many times I said that throughout watching freaking Cuties. I'm like, I should just watch Jump In because this is almost
Jump In was a good
this
movie.
is Jump In. All this is Jump In.
They
And you
did film the
de-age the
music video for
characters.
that movie in my high school. Not the one that you went to, the other one.